from the grave. Whisper secrets dark and brave, eyes that pierce into the night. Monsters come, we must fight. Candles flicker, casting dread. Ghostly wails fill my head, chasing demons lost in time. Sanity a steep climb. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Echoes of sins long past, fighting shadows deep and vast. Blood-stained blade in hand, stand your ground, make a stand. Cursed whispers fill the air, spirits cry, beware, beware. Through the fog and through the flame, monsters here know my name. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Echoes of sins long past, fighting shadows deep and vast. Blood-stained blade in hand, stand your ground, make a stand. Cursed whispers fill the air, spirits cry, beware, beware. Through the fog and through the flame, monsters here know my name. Silence screams, hearts break, nightmares come wide awake. Warriors of woe take flight, darkened souls embrace the fight. Shadows crawl from the grave, whisper secrets dark and brave, eyes that pierce into the night. Monsters come, we must fight. Candles flicker, casting dread. Spirits cry, beware, beware. Whispers in the dead night fire, broken dreams and twisted wire. Darkness feeds on fear's desire, shadows creep, the flames grow higher. Only graves and evil schemes, fighting phantoms, haunting dreams. Echoes of forgotten screams, horror not as hell seems. Battle cries in black and void, demons that I once enjoyed, now my strength they can't avoid. Living past I'm forced to destroy. I suppose the blood they crave, spirits risen from the grave, clawing beasts the souls they save. I'll be fighting till I cave, monsters hiding in my fears, bloody masks and deadly leers, fending off the painful jeers. Victory drowning in my tears. Battle cries in black and void.
Morning, evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of game design. Forgot what stream this was for a second. So for those of you listening, we probably won't be going the full till 10:30 stream. I just wanted to get on for a little bit and get some work done. This weekend, as you may know, we had our convention at Great Escape on the Lake in Corning, New York, and it went well. Unfortunately, shortly before, I apparently caught the flu. So, I am currently battling that. I am doing what I can, but if I look a little fucked compared to normal, that's why. So, what we are doing today is basically a bunch of grunt work. For those of you who have been watching our stream, you may recognize our character sheet. I have updated it specifically for the quick start guide. I'm going through and finishing the last page now, and then I'm going to be making copies of it. 1 minute. And then I am going to die. That is the order of events. Hey, Time. Hey, Mad. Welcome to the stream, both of ya. No, I am here. As I was saying a minute ago, unfortunately, shortly before the convention, I caught the flu. So I've been down for the past couple of days. The convention, for example, was supposed to be Wednesday through Sunday. Saturday and Sunday I called out both days. I could not handle it. I am here. But what I'm going to be doing today, I've been updating the character sheet. For example, if you look on page 2, survivability has been changed, so now you can see the penalties for the different wound levels. And then at the bottom you will have an area for pre-made checks. So if you know your character is going to be doing a lot of perception checks, you can jot down perception right there, put in the stats, and there you have it. There's a quick reference. And then the final page is going to be the equipment. I've got your primary melee and ranged as before, defensive armaments, basic gear, and then this is all the different slots that you have. So mostly I'm going through and making them look not like shit. As I was saying before, this is basically the grudge work portion. drudge work, but it needs to be done. So how y'all doing tonight? Yes. So one of the things I'm trying to do I'll give you an example of where I think this was done well. But it's something that all tabletop RPGs have to contend with, and that's the problem with power creep. As more books come out, and I'm not even talking about third party, I'm talking about first party books, right? Even if the design team is not trying to make things more powerful, they learn new ability, like they learn how to do things a little better, they learn what works and what doesn't. And newer material is always at a higher power level than older material. It just happens. Chili is good. So one of the things I've tried to do is basically accept that power creep is gonna happen and make plans for it. So one way that I think this was done rather well, or at least as well as can be expected, Vampire the Masquerade. My favorite clan is the Malkavian. They're the quote-unquote crazy vampires. So basically a Malkavian, for those not familiar, or those not familiar with Vampire the Masquerade at all, and there it was, okay. So with Vampire the Masquerade, right, pretty much. No, with Vampire the Masquerade, there are a bunch of different clans of vampire, each one representing a different archetype. So if you want to play your Anne Rice style, I am beautiful and the world is damned and there's beauty and damnness, but everything is damned and we're all gay, you would play a Toreador. If you oh, sorry about that. That sounds really good. So if you want to play your like Lost Boys style street punk, whatever, you play a Bruja, right? If you want to play your Nosferatu or Dusk Till Dawn, Hideous, whatever, you would play as a Michi or a Nosferatu, blah blah blah. Malkavian, if you remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that old show, and it hurts me inside to say old show with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but the vampire Drusilla is pretty much the quintessential Malkavian vampire, right? She's the I can see beyond the veil, but it's fractured my mind, so all of the advice I give is very scattered and it's hard to understand and blah blah blah. That's a Malkavian in a nutshell. Yeah, there is. Succeed a fort save? Fuck that shit. I willingly fail the fort save. I take that shit like a man. Alright, I didn't mean for the music to change right as I hit my table. That just happened. However. Yeah, they do. So, in the first edition of Vampire the Masquerade, all clans had 3 in-clan disciplines, right? 3 in-clan superpowers. Gangrel, which were the animalistic ones, had animalism to let you control and talk to animals. They had Protean, which was shape-shifting, and they had Fortitude, which was superhuman endurance. Bruja, which were, again, your street punks, had your super speed, your super strength, and your super presence, right? Your super sexiness. If you wanted to have a shirtless saxophone solo, that's what you did. But initially, Malkavians had Obfuscate, which allowed you to hide. Okay, that makes sense. They had Auspics, which allowed you to do a lot of peering through the veil, a lot of seance-y shit. That's Auspics, right? It allows you to tune your senses to superhuman levels. It's, if you've ever seen a show or read a book where the character, like, grabs an item and has a flashback of the last person to use it, that's something Auspics can do. And then their final discipline was Dominate, which was mind control. It didn't really fit Malkavian, but it is what it is. Hey, Noel, welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. So, a little bit in, they came out with a supplemental game line, which was Vampire the Dark Ages. Vampire the Masquerade was set in modern times, at the time the 90s, and Dark Ages was, as the name suggests, set during the Dark Ages. They gave Malkavians a new discipline to match their madness theme, and that was called Demontation. It allowed you to make others crazy. And a lot of people really liked this ability. It was unique, it was flavorful, it was great. Problem is, why did Malkavians in the past have this ability, but modern Malkavians didn't? So, White Wolf, the company that owned Vampire the Masquerade at the time, the Darkages, yes. I fucking love Kunk. If you haven't seen any of the Kunk shows, Kunk on Earth, Kunk on Life, whatever, go watch them. They're stupid, but they're great. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Pump up the jam. But White Wolf, the company behind Vampire the Masquerade, decided they were going to run with it. And they were going to retcon it and make it so all Malkavians in the modern Knights, unless otherwise specified, had Demontation instead of Dominate. But how to explain it? Because again, Vampire the Masquerade came from that narrative writing background, not the wargaming background that a D&D did. The lore, the meta plot, while today it's nothing for like Pathfinder Society, D&D Adventure League, whatever, in the 90s, that was almost exclusively a vampire thing, right? A World of Darkness thing. A lot of games did not have an overarching meta plot. Oh no. Um, so, in the lore, in the story of Vampire the Masquerade, the Malkavians played what they called the Great Prank, where in the past, between the Dark Ages and the Modern Knights, a bunch of elder Malkavians got together and did this giant ritual that made all the Malkavians forget they had dementation. And then in the Modern Knights, when they gave it back, these same elders undid that ritual. And they did that to explain in universe why the retcon existed. Ah! Father, you won't let me in your lap. Let me claw you. That will let me in your lap. Little fuckstick. What happened, Noel? Oh. But one of the things I'm trying to do is, again, power creep is gonna happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. What I'm trying to do is basically to mitigate it. Right? I'm trying to make sure that even if the Shattered World somehow, beyond my wildest dreams, goes 30, 40 years, whatever, that 10 years from now, the abilities in the core rulebook will still be a valid choice. That's my goal. Oh, excuse me. I will, if I ever release a Mega Damage Splat book, I want you to know that I have been killed and replaced by a clone. Like, never. Oh. Mega Damage is the devil. Just no thank you. It's bad juju. Thank you. Not even as an April Fool's joke. Damn, that sucks, Noel. I hate those days. Oh. Thank you. Yeah, we had that problem. So I run a game for predominantly new players at one of my local game stores once a month. And the last time we did it, well, I'll give you an example of a player from my long past, and then I'll tell you what they did. So back in the day, I was playing 3.5, D&D 3.5, and I had a player who was convinced that Ninja was the best class in the game, bar none. And it wasn't even close. And he thought this because Ninja had an ability that said you spend a key point and you automatically dodge one attack. Or it didn't say automatically, it said like you dodge one attack. And he made his character, we got into a fight. I was playing at the time, not running. But very first fight, he immediately ran in, started spending key points to dodge these attacks, and completely wrecked face because he couldn't get hit. You know, his character had like But no, this guy's, and I went back and looked at his ability because I'm like, that can't say what you think it does, man. No offense, but it fucking can't. And he popped the book right open, fully confident, and points to it. You spend one key point, this allows you to dodge any attack. Said that verbatim. The very next line, this translates to a +4 dodge bonus to AC. Which is not the same thing. The other day I was running a game, and I don't mean to bash the player doing it. I don't know if they were legitimately messing around or if they legitimately just misread the ability because they're new. It happens. I get it. They looked at their thing. It said this is a warp-based ability. And it sets your movement, or it increases your movement speed by 5. Cool. You're not actually teleporting. You're basically just scrunching up reality a little bit as you walk to where you move a little faster. That's all. I say that's all when I'm saying shit like that. You know what I mean. He was taking it as, well, it's a warp-based effect, so clearly this sets my speed to 30 feet now, and I can teleport 30 feet. And I see I've got a couple more people in stream. Just a heads up, everybody. For those that weren't here at the beginning, I'm going to be periodically disappearing as we stream. Unfortunately, I caught the flu. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it the full stream tonight. I'm definitely going to try. But just a heads up. So here's the thing with balance and legal systems. I'm going to give you another story. Back in the day, I played Rifts. Yes, this is the mega damage story. So, for those of you not familiar with Rifts, it had a similar concept to what Time is talking about. And again, caveat, what I'm about to say is my opinion only. I don't speak for every table, blah, 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 right? This is just me speaking, my experience, my viewpoint. There were two damage types. There was standard damage, and there was mega damage. Going off memory, my numbers may be slightly off, but one mega damaged equaled 1,000 standard damage. One of those is clearly better than the other. Now, the premise was mega damage was supposed to be exceedingly rare. Right? Like, in the core rulebook, it was... You know how in like a D&D, you've got to go on like epic level adventures and you may hear a rumor of the Hand of Vecna, an artifact, right? Like, mega damage was supposed to be that level. Yes, it was extremely powerful, but there were narrative consequences to finding, getting, and using it. The problem is, power creep is power creep. And fast forward several books, And you literally have 1 mega damage laser pens. Like laser pointers that do 1 mega damage. To put that in perspective, the Earth had like 5 mega damage that it could take before it was destroyed. I think what you're describing, Time, can work, but it's one of those that I would never do that in a group I did not know and trust. Like, that is one where you absolutely need to sit down, session 0 style, and figure out where everybody stands, what they're planning, etc. Because it's very easy for a system like that to be abused. It's very easy for that to just go to shit. So, short answer, can it be balanced? Yes. Oh, God. Yeah, that sucks, dude. It's what happens with these kinds of games. Not condoning, right? Like, not saying that makes it okay, but you gotta make sure everybody's on the same page, because one person can fuck everything up for the rest of them. You know? Ah. Good. Good to hear, man. I hope it goes well. Be right back. Oh. I'd like to apologize for any eardrums I just blew out. I apologize. Oh. I do. I'm actually in the process of getting it reset up. At some point, I fucked something up. I don't know what I did, but I'm going to be having the Discord up hopefully within the next week or two. Um, we do still have our Facebook, which is linked in our links. We also have a website. Um, we have our Twitch, we have our YouTube, etc. For a while, Does it? Oh, shit. It also has the Google Play and app. I thought I had gotten rid of those. Yeah, the website hasn't been updated in a while. Unfortunately, like I said, this is very much, while I'm putting a lot of time and effort and energy into it, this isn't right now my primary job. So some of the things have unfortunately fallen through the cracks. My goal is to get it to where this is my primary job, my only job. But frankly, that's going to be a little bit. Okay. clean up, everybody do your part. God. All right. Perfect. One step closer to being done. You know, I started designing my own game because I wanted to do the lore and the backstory and the abilities and all that cool shit. And unfortunately, here I sit, moving sections of my character sheet an eighth of an inch. Oops. When you're designing your own game, this is the type of shit that happens. Oh. Wouldn't trade it for anything, though. I will complain every second that I can, because that's just who I am. But I'm glad that I decided to do this. I love that I'm doing this. If I'm gonna fuck up anyone's system, it's gonna be mine, you know? It's what I do. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow, I'm not gonna lie. My day job is basically answering phones. It's a little more complicated than that, but in a nutshell, it's what I do. Oh, it's gonna suck. You're not wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss the days when my jobs were like 90% physical. But that's only because working with the general public sucks. Like, anyone who says they like working with the general public has never had to work a bookstore with the after church Sunday crowd. Oh, God. And I did that shit working in the South. I lived in the Bible Belt at the time. That was a thing. All right. Not in the heart of Midnight's Tomb. Alright. Okay. I kind of like this song. It's melodramatic, but shit, I grew up in the 90s. So the 3 character sheets are done. And now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's okay, don't feel bad. I thought I did too. Alright, and just to make sure I didn't fuck anything up. So page 4, page 5, page 6, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, that's good. 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 Alright, there is our quick start guide. The 8 character sheets are uploaded. I just have to fill them out. And since we've already made them, that'll be easy. So I know normally we continue until 10:30. I just am not able to do that Yeah, I'm calling it here time. Thank you everyone who suffered through me hacking in your ears. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, should be Bitey's Breaks. I honestly have no clue if I'm going to be alive enough to do it. If I am, we're going to be doing an easy game, probably House Flipper 2 again. Something easy, something relaxing. Yeah. So, thank you everyone who. Oh, that wonderful feeling when you think you're going to sneeze but you can't. Thank you everyone who hung out with me tonight. It was good seeing y'all again. Time, Noel, Mad, anyone I missed. It was good seeing y'all. Um, yeah, everybody take care, be safe, and I will see y'all next time.